Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I am sharing the November My Monthly Hero kit and add-ons. This month's release is jam-packed with stamps and dies that make it super easy to make cards, tags, gift toppers, and even ornaments. I have tons to share with you today, so I'm not going to go through every single step of every single project. I just want to share with you the scope of what you can create with this month's main kit and add-ons. So let's jump right into the crafting and I'll share these products along the way. First up, this is the Fireplace Stamp and Cut. So you can see you can cut out this beautiful ornate fireplace. The stamp set has several stockings, a fire with logs, some sentiments, and some things to go on the mantle as well. So I cut the fireplace out of white cardstock, and now I'm using several colors of Distress Oxide ink to stamp layer the fireplace. It's very easy to do. You can see exactly where the fire goes inside those logs, and the logs themselves are easy to layer on top of each other as well. See, everything just lines up and the stamp is cut to the shape, so it makes it easier to line them up as well. For the rest of the images, I decided to just stamp and heat emboss them with white embossing powder on different colors of cardstock. This is just a really easy way to create a colorful image without doing a lot of coloring. I did decide to snip out the center of the fireplace. It's only attached in 4 spots, so you can easily snip it out. This way I fussy cut out the fire and then adhered it with some tape runner right inside the fireplace there. And then I'm just going to use some tape runner to adhere the stockings, and I made a little tree as well. You could absolutely watercolor or Copic color this set as well, and there's tons of little images for the mantle that I did not include in my card. This is the Color Layering Merry Christmas stamp set. You could see that you can stamp the Merry and the Christmas in 2 different colors, or you can create the whole thing into a large ornament. There's an ornament cap as well. You could turn it into a tag. There are some to and from messages, sentiments in there as well. I decided to put everything down at the same time. I'm going to heat emboss the whole thing in gold embossing powder. So you could absolutely use red and green on white cardstock. That would be super fun. I'm using gold embossing powder on pink cardstock to do a little non-traditional colors of a Christmas tag or gift topper. So I'm going to heat set all of that, and then I created another circle. I just die cut a regular size circle and I put the to and from. I also decided to stamp another ornament topper there because I'm going to adhere the 2 circles together to make it a little more sturdy, and then I'm going to adhere the 2 ornament toppers together around, one on the back and one on the front of this tag. That's just going to keep everything a little sturdier, and I am going to punch a hole with 1/8 of a hole punch with my We Are Memory Keepers multi-hole punch there, and that's going to give me just enough room to put some twine through the top. And you could see you could definitely tie that onto a present or even hang it on the tree. It's super cute. This is the Hug in a Mug Stamp and Cut. The dies cut out a really cute little mug with some whipped cream, candy cane. You can make it a cocoa mug, a coffee mug, and then there's tons of warm wishes, have a cup of cheer, those types of sentiments in the stamp set. There's also little steam, a heart, and some snowflakes. This was my reminder to remind myself to cut out some of my Christmas dies with felt. I love doing this. I've forgotten about it this year, and I just wanted to cut out this cute little cup of cocoa with some felt die. So I did cut out the felt with the die, but then I did trace around another one, and that's because I want that opening of the mug to be backed by some felt as well, because I want this to be an ornament. So you can see I backed the light blue with a darker blue piece of felt, and now I'm using some white fun foam on the mug to be whipped cream. I also cut out some felt for the holly and the berries and the candy cane. So I'm going to have everything kind of adhered to the cup itself. And then I'm going to tie some of that red and white twine from the main kit so that I can hang this as an ornament on my tree. Super quick and easy, lots of fun. You could cut the pieces and then have kids put them together. It would be a really fun afternoon craft. I'm going to use the same Stamps and Dies Hug in a Mug to create a card as well. I'm using white satin pearl Hero Arts embossing powder to stamp and heat emboss the steam marks from coming out of the top of the mug. This is the perfect embossing powder for that because it's a little shiny, but it's clear as well, so you can still see the color of the cardstock because steam obviously is also clear. So I stamped the sentiment Warm Wishes on the mug itself with some black ink, and now I'm going to use some tape runner to adhere the candy cane, which I'm going to put right through the little holder of the mug. I have the holly also cut out of colorful cardstock, so instead of doing a lot of coloring here or heat embossing on colored cardstock, I just cut out different colors of cardstock. For the whipped cream, I just cut it out of white cardstock, and I'm just using some Ultra Bond liquid glue to adhere everything down here once I was done with my tape runner for the larger images. I did pop up that large marshmallow and then glue down the small marshmallow, and I'm going to keep this one clean and simple. For the Merry Poinsettia bunch, I am going to do some Copic coloring, but the way to keep it really easy is to first stamp it in some no line coloring ink and then do some really quick and even it can be sloppy Copic coloring. I just want to lay color down here. I'm not so worried about making sure everything is even perfectly within the lines. And you can see I'm just adding some different layers of reds here just to have some depth and dimension to these flowers, but I'm not concerned about things going slightly outside the lines. And for the centers, I just go in there and just slop on some yellow. For the greenery, I just cover up the image. And for the swirls, I'm going to leave them as is because we're going to have the stamp stay in the MISTI this whole time. And I'm going to put it back in, and this time I'm going to stamp it with embossing ink, and this way I can heat emboss over top of all the coloring that I did. That just kind of brings the whole image together, cleans it up for you, and covers some of those swirls and things with some pretty metallic embossing powder. So once you heat set that, this really starts to shine, and it was super, super quick to do. I did die cut it out and then put some foam squares behind it so I could pop it up on an A2 piece of white cardstock, and then I cut some foam squares in half so that I could pop up the sentiment as well, and this sentiment comes with the stamp set too. It's a really pretty Merry Christmas font sentiment. And that is it. Super easy way to Copic color or just add some fun coloring to an image and then have it shine too. As for the main kit, you get these fun tag elements. So there's one face that then can be turned into a Santa, a snowman, an elf, a reindeer, so many different ways to use this, and a bunch of accessories as well. And the stamp set has two patterns that you can create a tag with and tons of small sentiments that you can stamp for a tag as well. Now, I lost a ton of video footage here, so I'm just going to show you basically what I did to create 3 different tags, and those are not all that you can make with this, but just to give you some ideas of what you could do with these stamps and dies from the main kit. So I stamped several of the little tag patterns, and then I did cut them out into the size that they are. I also stamped some sentiments on those patterns right on top with some black ink. I'd gotten a little spot of black ink, so I used one of the die cuts, little holly and berries, to cover that up. On the flip side, I put together the snowman with the face, a scarf, and a top hat. I cut all these out of white cardstock and then ink blended them. And then I'm just using some Nuvo drops to add some coal eyes and a coal nose as well. So this side has the little snowman, and I was sure to leave the top hat hanging off the tag so that you have the hole. And then this side has the pattern with the sentiment. For the reindeer, I did use that same face and I covered it in brown ink. And then I have this piece, which is the nose and the mouth. You put that right on top, and then there's antlers and ears. So you can tell really easily how quick this is to put together. It's just several pieces. You could also cut these out of colorful cardstock, and there are pieces for the eyes. If you wanted to, you could glue them back in. I found the Nuvo drops really easy to add, like I did for the Santa here. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different things that you can create with this month's Hero Arts kit. If you had a favorite, let me know in the comments below. There's still time to get a jump on Christmas before the rush of the holiday season, so if you haven't seen my entire Get a Jump on Christmas playlist, check it out over here. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. I really don't know. Every single time I'm like looking from side to side to see which direction I'm supposed to point. Let's do that one more time. I feel like my eyes were still darting from side to side. Shifty-eyed. Okay, that's okay. That's okay.